We'll give it just a moment for everyone to come in from the waiting room. As a reminder, please mute yourself unless you are presenting or testifying before the board. Good afternoon. This is a hearing before the Licensing Board for the City of Boston. Today is Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. Today's hearing is being conducted pursuant to certain temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Good afternoon. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm Chair of the Licensing Board, and I'm joined today by Commissioner Kiana Saxon and Commissioner Liam Curran.
Each item will be called in the order it appears on the agenda. Once I read the item into the record, I will ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. Please identify yourself. You will then have the opportunity to present to the board. The chairwoman and commissioners will ask any questions they have of you, after which we will turn to public testimony. Public testimony will begin with elected officials or their representatives, followed by any other individuals who wish to testify. When testifying, please state your full name, address, your affiliation, if any, and please limit your testimony to 2 minutes or less. The board does not give additional weight to spoken testimony over written testimony. Before we begin, item 12, Boston Pubs LLC, doing business as the Ginger Man at 148 State Street. This item will be continued until the June 30th hearing. Calling Endis University Services LLC, doing business as the University of Massachusetts Club Cafe, located at 1 Beacon Street, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above grab-and-go coffee bar on concourse level. Manager David Eichstead, hours of operation 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I am David Eichstead. Thank you.
I see him, Leslie.
Okay, sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay, so we currently operate the UMass Club on the 32nd floor of 1 Beacon Street. We were approached by the building about opening a grab-and-go coffee bar in the space that used to be occupied by Rebecca's Cafe on the concourse level of the building. We're only using a small 1,600 square foot section of their previous space for entire grab and go. There's limited seating outside of the cafe, but everything is being served in disposable containers. It's intended to be taken out, and it's primarily for the building occupants of 1 Beacon Street. Everything would be prepared upstairs in our main kitchen on 32 and transported down to the cafe space. It'll be a coffee bar featuring Pete's Coffee brand and their beverage program, and then some grab and go salads and sandwiches, all pre-packaged or pre-prepared food that is just served out of that location. Monday through Friday, we put down 7 to 5 for the hours. More likely it'll be 7 to 2:30 or 3 o'clock, but we're not quite sure because it's new to us. So we kind of wanted to leave it open a little bit to stay open later if needed.
Okay. I don't have any questions for you, Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Seeing no questions, are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is George Wynn with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office held an abutters meeting for the proponent on Monday, June 14th. There were no concerns presented by the community. So at this time, our office would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support. We heard no issues or concerns from residents or the neighborhood association. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Thank you very much. The board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Calling 2000 Chef Food Corp., doing business as Finn Sushi and Grill, located at 636 Beacon Street. Holder of a restricted common vitular 7-day malt and wine beverage has petitioned to change the doing business as from Fin Sushi and Grill to Nagame. Who is present on behalf of the licensee? Is there anyone present for Fin Sushi and Grill?
I think there is someone who's on mute. Attorney.
Hello? Hello?
Oh,
Oh.
there we go.
Sorry.
We can hear you now.
Oh, yes. My name is Su Zhang. I'm the owner of 2000 Chef located on 636 Beacon Street. Currently, we are occupied as a sushi traditional restaurant, and but we've been there like 13 years. Right now, we're going to change a new concept, a new menu on the same location. So change to the as Nagomi.
Okay. Are there any operational changes or just a change to the concept?
Just change the concept, change the menu.
Change the menu. Okay.
Yes.
Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Kern, do you have any questions?
No questions.
No, thank you.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Sorry.
Are
Thank you.
there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter?
No.
All right, seeing no one present to testify, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling Fruit Tea Massachusetts, Inc., doing business as Yi Fang Taiwan Fruit Tea, located at 215 Newberry Street, has applied for a common vitular license to be exercised on the above 1,000 square feet of leased retail space on the first floor, consisting of 3 rooms, 1 main room with service counter, supply, storage, and seating, 2 a bathroom, and 3 an employee break room. Manager Quinn Chen, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Timothy Fraser. I'm the attorney for Fruit Tea, Massachusetts. Also on the line is Chien Chen, who's Ivy Chen, should be showing up. I see her is in attendance as well.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay.
Do you want to tell us what you're proposing?
Sure. This is a proposal for a new tea shop. The concept is similar to a Starbucks, but think fruit teas. It'll be operating in 1,000 square feet on Newberry Street, the former home of a kitchenwares store, which has gone out of business, and the applicant has gone through the Board of Appeal process to have the occupancy updated such that the fruit tea shop is also allowed. So it'll be a primarily takeout with 18 seats inside, sort of counter service with 18 seats and a lavatory and a small break room.
Okay. Are there any other locations in the city, or is this the first one?
No, this will be the first one in the city.
Okay. Thank you very much. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Kern?
No questions.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who wish to testify, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is George Wynn with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, our office would like to go on record in support, but we ask that the proponent continue conversations with the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials who wish to testify? Are there any other individuals? I see Conrad Armstrong. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Conrad Armstrong from 439 Marlborough Street, representing the Neighborhood Association of Back Bay. The applicant met with us over a year ago, and NAB does not oppose the applicant. We would like them to try to do indoor storage of trash, however.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, board.
Calling Congress Street Fort Point LLC, doing business as Trillium Greenway on the Garden on the Greenway, located at 375 West Atlantic Avenue. Holder of a farmer brewery and winery pouring license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Brandon Keating to Daniel Roca. Attorney John Cannell. Attorney Cannell?
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin, representing Trillium on this change of manager application. I'm here today with Dan Rocha. He's the proposed manager of record. Dan has 4 years of experience working as a general manager for Trillium. He is a U.S. citizen and a Massachusetts resident. He's TIP certified, and he is familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the sale of alcoholic beverages. And we're here to answer any questions you may have.
And is Mr. Roca with you?
Yep,
Yes.
I'm here.
Could you please turn on your video?
Yes.
Thank you. And your attorney covered the 4 manager of record questions we ask of each new manager of record who's before us. Are there any other changes other than the manager of record, or is this the only one?
This is the only one.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Seeing no questions, is there anyone present who wishes to testify regarding this matter? Seeing no one, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling Marriott Resorts Hospitality Corporation, doing business as Marriott Custom House, located at 3 McKinley Square. Holder of a common titular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of officer director. Attorney Joseph Devlin. Attorney Devlin?
Yes. Good afternoon, Madam Executive Secretary, Madam Chair, and Commissioners. I'm here for Marriott Resorts Hospitality Corporation for a change of officer in their corporate headquarters in Orlando. The previously approved Vice President Clifford Dellery has retired. He's being replaced by William P. Wellahan III. The rest of the officer slate is remaining the same, and nothing is changing in the operations of the hotel at the Custom House. Thank you.
Thank you, attorney. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran?
Seeing no questions, are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling Algonquin Club Hexagon LLC, doing business as the Quinn House, located at 219 Commonwealth Avenue. Holder of a club all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend condition number 5 on the license, allowing hours of operation on the courtyard to change from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. if the retractable roof is closed. Secondly, has petitioned to amend the capacity from 461 patrons to 1,350 patrons. Attorney Patricia Malone. Attorney Malone?
Yes, thank you, members of the board, Madam Chairwoman. With me today, I have Sandra Edgley, who is the owner and operator of 217 Commonwealth Ave, the Algonquin Hexagon LLC, doing business as the Quinn House. I also have with me today Matthias Keene. Mr. Matthias Keene is the managing director of the Quinn House, as well as being the vice president of hospitality for Hexagon Properties. What I'm seeking for the commission today is the first issue, which is to change the condition number 5, which required the courtyard to close at 9 a.m. This has been an extensive renovation and remodeling job that has happened to the Algonquin Club. And at the time that we went forward in 2008 with the transfer, there was no roof over the courtyard. The courtyard approximately holds only 28 people. Since the renovation, there is now a retractable roof that actually goes over this area. And this is why we are seeking to, I guess, have that condition change. So at the times when the retractable roof is in fact closed, that premises or that part of the premises can actually close at 1 a.m. with the rest of the facility. The second issue before the division is the increase in capacity. In 2018, when I came before the board with regard to the transfer of this license, I did my best in trying to allocate the description of the premises as well as the seating capacity. At that point, I knew that because it was going to be renovated and remodeled, that I needed to wait for the full capacity until ISD recalculated based on the remodeled premises. So I did not give a capacity. However, I did give an amendment of description with regard to the rooms in each floor, and I did give a seating capacity of 962. The reason I state that is because I recognize that there are some things, minor square footage areas, such as the basement, which is now going to be used as a spa, such as state-of-the-art facilities allowing handicapped people in and around. They were never allowed to get in or out of this premises. And there has been minor changes with square footage. And basically we're operating in the footprint of the building that we bought in 2018 that previously was held by the Algonquin Club. So what I'm asking for today, and I've spoken with my client, is that because I gave such a detailed description back in 2018, which was allowed by both this office as well as the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, that although I have passed in an egress plan and believe that I will actually be given the paperwork at the end of the week for the CO, the fire assembly, and the ISD certificate, and recognizing that the board may determine that I need an amendment of description, my client is okay with operating at the 962 seating capacity, which again was approved in 2008. And she will do that until such time as I amend the license description, which means I need to go through the neighborhood process again. I would say that there have been minor changes to the square footage of this premise, and I can only surmise why a building at this point, which I gave the square footage in 2018 is 53,300, would only have a capacity for 461. I can only surmise that because it's one of the oldest clubs in the city of Boston, that the building itself was beginning to deteriorate. And I believe also that the membership was declining. Therefore, there's 461 capacities. So obviously the premise wasn't being used to its full extent back in when they transferred the license. And therefore, you had a woefully under number, that being 416. I also, in 2018, did submit information to tell you or to show you the ups and downs of the capacity of that building from 2000 to 2010 to 2016 to 2020. So there was a high number, and it started being adjusted back in 2012 and then again in 2016. So I believe that the description I have in the seating capacity of 962, my client at this point would go ahead with that until I get, if you so desire, need to go through the process again with an amendment of description. The club itself has done an extensive renovation and all state-of-the-art equipment. And basically, a lot of what has been done with extreme outreach to the neighborhood. Starting back in 2018, we had extensive neighborhood agreements. One of the things that happened back in 2019, many hours were spent by my client as well as the Neighborhood Association of the Back Bay in finally formalizing a good neighborhood agreement. A good neighborhood agreement put into place issues that would safeguard the neighborhood, like any new premises in any residential area, as well as any transfer of a building. And so at that time, what the community wanted us to do and was listed in the agreement, everything covering how many, the door person at the door personnel, what time the roof deck would close, 24/7 availability for a phone number that people could call if in fact there were issues that were happening. That being said, one of the main things that the neighborhood association asked us to do was to put obviously policies and procedures in place on issues that directly impacted the quality of life. Those issues would be sound, noise, dispersal, valet, the issues which would impact any quality of life in any neighborhood in the city of Boston. That being said, my client has put together policies and procedures for quality of life issues, not only quality of life issues, but put procedures in place to actually minimize the impact of this license in the residents of the Back Bay. Obviously, traffic, parking, sound deliveries were all such issues that NAB wanted us to address. Our team, Mr. Keene being at the head, was able to put in major policies and procedures with regard to dispersal, valet, parking, sound, noise. Mr. Keem and his staff worked tirelessly to come up with the policies and procedures so that the quality of life would be minimalized. Mr. Keem comes to Hexagon with the 25-year he's been in the restaurant industry for 25 years. He is considered to be a global expert in food and beverage concept. He actually was the vice president of the Ritz in Paris, as well as he has a lot of experience. He was head of the food court area, Harrods of London, and for 14 years has worked with is being the GM for the Four Seasons, not only here in Boston, but in Beverly Hills in Egypt. I now am going to turn it over to Mr. Keene. Mr. Keene?
Thank you, Julie.
See him.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm still here. Thank you for the introduction. I thought, maybe it's probably best to talk about the valet plan in the beginning. So when Sandy Edgerly bought the building in 2018, we still evaluated the valet operation of the previous ownership of the Algonquin Club. The club has about 6 valet spaces right in front of 217 Commonwealth Avenue. And back in the day, their overflow parking, if you will, was on Dartmouth Street, right in the garage by the Back Bay station. We felt back then already that this one was too much of a distance, between the building and the garage. So subsequently, we were seeking a better opportunity, and I think we most likely have the closest garage available, which is we have rented spaces in the Prudential garage, which is actually part of the Mandarin Oriental garage, which lets you into the garage from Ring Road and lets you out directly onto Boylston Street. This is probably the closest garage there is, and therefore it should be as efficient as possible.
And Mr. Kim, I'm just going to interrupt you right there.
Yes.
I know all we're considering today is the increase in capacity for residents, as well as the removal of the condition. I recall when all of this was.
I'm sorry that I went off on a tangent.
No, not at all. This was all vetted. The board is well aware that you've been working very closely with the community, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No, absolutely. Is there anything you want to specifically ask in regards to the valet operation or the dispersal plan?
Not for me, not at this time, no.
Okay.
It looks like, so it's a private club, so it's not going to be something where like everyone leaves at the same time anyways, is my understanding.
That is correct. The club is open from 6 o'clock in the morning, if you will, when the gym opens.
Okay.
To depending on what day, it may be 11, 12 or 1 o'clock.
Okay. So just to get back to the capacity, right now you're asking to increase the capacity to 962.
I'm willing
And
to
then
go, I'm willing to go to 962 as it was approved back in 2018, but I do believe that because there has been some minor changes with regard to the number of floor, or the number of rooms on each floor, that perhaps I need to go and file an amendment of description and get us up to the capacity that my egress, that the egress plan is showing at 1348.
Okay,
But we are willing until that happens to operate with the seating capacity with 962.
okay, that's what I figured. Okay, thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yep.
Attorney Malone, I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran, do you?
Could I just introduce Sandra Edgley for 2 seconds? She's
Yes, please.
Okay, Sandra.
Well, just thank you so much, Commissioner and the board, for your consideration. I just wanted to say this has been a long investment in the building and bringing the building up to sort of today's standards in terms of life safety and all operational measures, and also a big investment in terms of the staff. We've worked extensively with the neighborhood. We believe we are of the neighborhood, many of our members of the neighborhood, and we want to be mindful of working closely with the neighborhood, continuing from this point forward, in addition to what we've done over the last several years, and of course to also working with the board. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Curran and Saxon, you did not have any questions, correct?
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or representatives of elected officials?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is George Huynh with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office held an abutters meeting for the Quinn House on May 18th, 2021. Many members of the community noted that Ms. Edgerly had done her due diligence in community outreach, as well as planning and remodeling. While there were some concerns regarding noise levels and further amendments to their good neighbor agreement with NAB, overall the project was met with overwhelming support by abutters. So at this time, our office would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials? Are there any other individuals who wish to testify? I see Conrad Armstrong has his hand raised.
Thank you, Madam Secretary and members of the board. My name is Conrad Armstrong from 439 Marlborough Street, representing the Neighborhood Association of Back Bay. The management of the Quinn has met with the leadership of NAB for many years now, coming up with the Good Neighbor Agreement, which actually already has written into it the changes to the courtyard and the hours and the regards to the retractable roof there. And with regards to capacity and any issues that might come up with that, we feel that the Good Neighbor Agreement has built into it communication methods and regular meetings that the Quinn management could work things out with neighborhoods. So NAB does not oppose these changes.
Thank you. And for the record, I know Attorney Malone is well aware, the capacity that will be granted will be based off of the certificate of inspection issued by ISD. I have Marta, and I apologize, Bergamaschi.
Thank you. Yes, perfect. I'm Marta Bergamaschi, and I'm a neighbor. I live at 18 Exeter Street. And with my husband, Alessandro Rollo, we are extremely in support of this extraordinary project. I just want to underline that the Quinn leadership is really putting together an extremely strong, diverse and community with a special focus on nonprofit. They've been doing truly an extraordinary work, and they've been extremely attentive and caring and diligent in dealing with the neighborhood. So we are in strong support for a one-of-a-kind project in Boston and in New England. Thank you.
Thank you. Jill Greenthal.
Sorry, just trying to get my mic on. Hi, I also am a neighbor. We live at 776 Boylston Street. And I also wanted to give you our strong support of the Quinn and the project. In addition to knowing the care that Sandy and her team have taken in putting the Quinn together, we have known Sandy and her family for over 30 years. They're first-rate people. They'll do the right thing for the neighborhood. And we just want to give the project our strong support. We're excited to have them in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Very much. Anish Singhal.
Thank you for listening. I'm a physician. I live around the corner from 9 Fairfield. I've seen there's been a club around the corner for many years. And I believe that the current proprietors and the enhancement and the care that the proprietors have taken, the transparency, it all speaks to the high caliber of the whole construction project, attention to the neighborhood. The membership has been carefully vetted, and I have no doubt that this will be a glorious addition to our beloved city and that the neighborhood will be very happy with the end product. I'm highly supportive.
Thank you very much. Lori Noble.
I'm a very close by neighbor. I live at 274 Beacon Street, so I'm only a couple of blocks away, and I'm on the ComAv Mall all the time. I'm also a member of the garden club, and we help maintain the trees on the mall. So I want to speak to the fact that I just feel the Edgerleys and the entire Quinn staff have made such an enormous effort to be thoughtful and considerate neighbors. And just the way the construction was handled, that the street wasn't closed off. They've just done everything they can to, first of all, bring this building back to an extraordinary asset to the neighborhood. If any of you have seen it, the outside is just pristine and looks lovely. And I'm sure the inside will as well. But most importantly, in this age of contention and hostility, it's a wonderful role model to all of us to see a project that is so transparent and interested in building coalitions and alliances and making sure that whatever is done in the best interest of everyone. So I, as a person who lives 2 blocks away, am just tremendously supportive of this, and I feel fortunate that the Edgerleys have taken over this beautiful building and kept it, indeed enhanced it for the benefit of the entire city of Boston, specifically the Back Bay neighborhood, which I've lived in for 40 years. So
thank you very much.
I give strong support. Thank you.
Thank you. Jonathan Danforth. Jonathan, could you unmute yourself? Irene.
Hi, I'm sorry, our video is not working. I apologize, but this is Jonathan and Cynthia Danforth, and we live at 11 Exeter Street, just around the corner. And like everyone that just preceded us, you know, we do believe that it's going to be an extraordinary addition to our neighborhood. And having been in the technology business my whole life, I so appreciate the fact that the Quinn has made such an investment in technology, because it really will assure all of us that they are maintaining the commitment to the neighborhood agreement by monitoring, you know, noise levels and capacities and, you know, so on and so forth. So while aesthetically we are so proud to have them as neighbors, we also want to just acknowledge that the investment in and the overall plan is extraordinary. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Irene and George Olson.
Hi, we live at 211 Commonwealth Avenue, like 3 doors down from the Quinn house. In fact, me and my husband, we were born right in Boston back in the 40s. So we go back a long way, but we've watched the construction from our roof, from our windows going on, and they've done a great job. There really hasn't been any noise. The trucks would come in and drop off, and they were very considerate of the neighborhood. So I think with this licensing, I think that it would be, we support it. We support it, and we support the increase in the capacity also. We know during all this construction how well planned it was. It's going to be well planned in the future. So we just wanted to lend our support to that, being so close.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Lauren Julian.
Hi, my name is Lauren Julian. I currently reside at 50 Commonwealth Avenue. I also lived at 322 Beacon Street during a girth of the construction phase. And I also would like to underscore Irene's point about how diligent they were during the construction phase. They did such a great job. Additionally, I do want to underscore Sandy's point. I've had the honor to meet some of the incredible staff that they've already hired and continue to hire. And they've taken such care to not only invest in the building itself, but also the staff and the management operations to continue to operate at an incredibly high level. And so I'm in full support of increasing the capacity. Already they've been incredibly diligent in their process and operations, and I think that they'll continue to do so in operating at a higher capacity in the building. Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Raffinelli.
Good afternoon, the board. Thank you so much for taking the time and listening to all of us in the neighborhood. I've had an office in the Back Bay, just blocks from the Algonquin, for 15 years between Exeter and Fairfield, and I'm so thrilled what's going on with the Quinn. But people are making such great points. I did want to point out that Matthias Kim not only has been a Bostonian, but is a global expert in hospitality and understands how to run a property like this. So rest assured, I believe it's certainly Sandy and Matthias have done a magnificent job with the neighbors. The construction has been a marvel. I run by it every single day. But I am also a founding member of the Quinn, and I want to be clear that all of us as a membership are committed to having great success with this club or the house, but as well respect the Back Bay and have for many decades. So you have our commitment to hold Sandy and Matthias to the highest standards, and they hold themselves to that. But I thought that would be something to point out. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Carol Fulp.
Yes, I'm sorry, did you call on me?
Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, Carol Fulp.
Thank you. I'm Carol Fulp, and I'm owner at 54 Commonwealth Avenue for the last dozen years. And I am delighted at the work of the Quinn. Sandy and Paul have been meticulous in particularly engaging community and engaging the neighborhood, ensuring that this particular entity represents the community, is sensitive to the community. And so I'm delighted to support this entity. I'm particularly pleased as to how they have reached out to ensure that everyone is represented at the Quinn. Every generation is represented at the Quinn. Every ethnic diversity, culture is represented at the Quinn. And so I'm so delighted that the Quinn represents the New Boston. And I'm delighted that they work with the neighborhood to ensure that the neighborhood is represented at the Quinn.
Thank you very much. Carol Lindsay.
Hi, I'm Carol Lindsay, and I live at 416 Com Ave. And I'm lucky enough to go up and down the mall frequently. And I have noticed that even the construction workers show such respect for our neighborhood. And I think this in turn shows the leadership that Sandy and Paul have brought to all the people who work for them. But more than that, I wanted to mention Jane Jacobs, the great guru of The Death and Life of American Cities is her book. And she urges cities to be sure that they are vibrant, not only in the daytime, but in the evening. And I think this will lend to Commonwealth Ave more life throughout the day and night. And I think that's a wonderful idea. So I'm very much in support of this project and of the Quinn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Robert Small.
I, as an owner at 211 Commonwealth, 3 doors down, I, had lots to be careful about with the Quinn coming, and I've been very thrilled with how they've handled everything so far and what our expectations are. And I would encourage, I think we have a responsibility. They've invested so much to help them within the rules, make the business as viable as possible. So that way the Quinn can be around for generations. So I think both of these requests help enhance the viability and make it so that we can enjoy it for a long time. So I'm firmly in support.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take a shot at this one, so I apologize. Gonzague de Montricard.
It's on mute still. I think he's gone.
Yep, you just dropped off. All right, I think those are all the hands that are raised. Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy Minahan. And just we do have a full agenda. We're definitely getting the point. So if we can just keep our remarks concise.
Sure, I'll try. Thank you so much for letting me speak. I have a bit of a perspective that hasn't been mentioned yet, and that is of someone who attended many functions at the old Algonquin and saw it go downhill. I've had members of my family stay there, in the last 4 or 5 years and mention to me that it was not a pleasant experience. Under Sandy Edgerly and the Edgerly family and the Quinn staff, this is an addition to our community, and it will prevent an asset of our community from completely deteriorating in our midst, which would have, I think, unfortunate repercussions for the whole of the Back Bay. I live on Beacon and Berkeley. I go past the old Algonquin and now the new Quinn on a daily basis. And I think it's not only an addition to the neighborhood, but it is a replacement for something that was going to be very much a negative part of the community. So I can't thank them enough.
Thank you very much. Are there any individuals who have not previously spoken who wish to testify? Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle May.
Yeah, I'm a very close by neighbor at 233 Marlboro, just around the block. And I just wanted to state that I fully echo what everyone else says, and I'm just fully in supportive of this project. I think it's great.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who've not previously testified who wish to do so? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. For some reason, I can't see your name showing up. I apologize.
That's okay. I'm Jane Brock Wilson, and I'm at 314 Dartmouth, so different direction than some of the others. And I just want to add my voice that I think what Paul and Sandy have done here is phenomenal, and we're lucky to have them and the Quinn in the neighborhood.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify?
May I jump in? It's Gonzague de Montricard.
Yes, please go ahead.
I live at 118 Marlborough Street with my family, and we are in strong support as well. I mean, I'm not going to repeat everything that has been said by the member of the community, but I will second every statement. It's really an amazing work, and we're all excited to see that. Like the work has been done. I mean, in a very careful manner, and we thank everyone at the Quinn for what they've done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Attorney Malone, we will work with you separately to discuss whether it will require an alteration to further extend the capacity, but we can do that separately. So
Okay,
thank you
great.
all very much. The board will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you for your time.
Calling Bennington 1004 LLC, doing business as Renegades Pub, located at 1004 Bennington Street. Holder of a common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of ownership interest. Secondly, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Peter Ackerman to Katie Daly. Attorney Kristen Scanlon. Attorney Scanlon?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kristen Scanlon representing the licensee. Signed on with us today is Katie Daly, who is the proposed manager of record and new LLC member. By way of background, and since the 2017 opening of Renegades, Katie has been the general manager at the location and has about 16 years of experience through all facets of the restaurant industry. She is a U.S. citizen, Massachusetts resident, and familiar with the rules and regs of the board and the state regarding service and sale of alcohol. She will be joining on as a LLC member as well, but Mr. Ackerman will maintain the majority ownership interest in the license and in the business. Otherwise, there are no other changes proposed to the establishment.
Thank you, Attorney. That's very concise and very helpful. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
No questions. Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? All right, thank you very much. The board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Calling Clarendon Restaurant LLC, doing business as Post 390, located at 406 Stewart Street. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business to Grand Banks Fish House. Secondly, has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed premise. 2, on 2 floors, first floor oyster bar with preparation area, bar and restaurant seating for 104 patrons with storage, locker rooms for staff and bathrooms for patrons and staff. Second floor, restaurant, bar, and private dining with seating for 211 patrons and bathrooms for patrons and staff, kitchen and storage areas. Total square footage, 11,960 square feet. Attorney Stephen Miller. Attorney Miller?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is actually Attorney Nick Zazula, pinch hitting for Attorney Miller. I apologize, and I'll try and be as concise as Attorney Scanlon was. With me today on behalf of the licensee is Brian Summers from Clarendon Restaurant LLC, as well as Michael Sesnick from the licensee as well, Clarendon Restaurant LLC. Briefly, this is an application for alteration of premises and the DBA request. Madam Secretary, we'd like to actually withdraw the change of DBA request, please, at this time. We've run into some naming rights issues and reasons, so we need to withdraw that and keep it as Post 390 for the time being. And we'll have to be back in front of the board on that specific portion of the application at a later date. As for the application for the alteration of premises, we are looking to rebrand the former Post 390 into a new fish house concept at the same location. The project envisions interior alterations and a new concept of high quality New England inspired seafood presented in a simple and clean way. So there will be no change to the footprint or square footages of the licensed premises, just interior renovations to update to the new concept, the to be named new concept, and no change to the overall capacity from the previous concept under the ISD certificates, but we would be updating the seating capacity from 270 to 315 as a result of the overall renovation and alterations. The ownership will remain the same. It's experienced and well respected ownership of other restaurants in the city, such as Grill 23 and Bistro Dimity, and they will again be staying on as part of this rebranding. So happy to answer any questions you may have, but again, just wanted to clarify that we'll be withdrawing that DBA request at this time.
Thank you, Attorney Zazula. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran, do you?
No questions, miss.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, yes. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Kim Crucioli from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The Mayor's Office would like to go on record in support of this proposal. No concerns were shown by abutters, and the applicants met with the Bay Village Neighborhood Associations, who had no concerns with this proposal. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councilor Flame's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. The Bay Village Neighborhood Association reported no issues and no concerns, therefore we support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Lori Noble.
My question is, with this new rebranding, is there going to be an extension of the evening hours? Because with that being a residential area, that would concern me.
There is no application before the board for an extension of hours.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other individuals who wish to testify? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling South End Partners, Inc., doing business as SRV Restaurant located at 569 to 575 Columbus Avenue. Holder of a restricted common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of stock interest. Lastly, has petitioned for a change of officers directors. Attorney Marshall Newman. Attorney Newman.
Thank you. I'm representing South End Partners, Inc., doing business as SRV. A 10% shareholder named Deirdre Ald is leaving the area. She's the director of operations, and the new director of operations is buying her 10% interest in the company from her. His name is Edward Hawkins. There will be absolutely no change in the operations of the business. Deirdre Ald is also resigning as a director, and subject to the approval of the board, Ted Hawkins will become a director of the corporation. That's it.
Thank you, Attorney Newman. I don't have any questions for you, Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran.
Seeing no questions, are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Calling Little Steve's Pizza Inc., doing business as Little Stevie's Pizza, located at 1114 Boylston Street. Holder of a common vitular 7-day wine and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and location from the above to Food House Inc., doing business as Friendship BBQ Alston, located at 103 Brighton Avenue. The premise consists of approximately 2,000 square feet, one room on first floor, dining consisting of 63 seats, no bar, kitchen and restrooms in rear, basement for storage. So Lim Ting, manager, 12 a.m. closing hour. Attorney Carolyn Conway. Attorney Conway.
Good afternoon, members of the board and Attorney Hawkins. Today I have with me Mr. Solim Ting, who is one of the stockholder, along with his wife, of the applicant here. You may recall that this matter was before the board in March, looking for a license to see whether the board had any available. At the time, we did not. So what we did was we went out and we purchased one. The purchase price is $55,000 coming from shareholder funds, and we're looking to put it into the restaurant that has been operating for more than several months now. Mr. Ting also owns the Friendship Barbecue, which is in Chinatown. It has a very unique concept in that it is kind of hot pot meets skewers, something very, very different as far as Chinese barbecue. And he's brought this out to Alston, and it's been very, very successful. What we'd like to do is, we believe there is a public need so that the beer and wine, which complements the food, can be brought and we can have our customers enjoy it. We have many people asking for it. I did receive an email this morning from Tony Diazadoro from the Alston Civic Association. We have been in constant contact with them, knowing that they support this, and we're looking forward to making this a long-term restaurant in the Alston area. So Mr. Ting is already the manager of record of the restaurant in Chinatown.
Thank you, Attorney Conway. And thank you for explaining the public need for this unique concept at this location. I don't have any questions, Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon.
Seeing no questions, are there any individuals who wish to testify, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Lisa High with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, speaking on behalf of my colleague, Connor Newman. The Mayor's Office would like to go on record to support. Our office conducted an abutters meeting on February 22nd, 2021, and there were no concerns that were raised during that time. They also met with the Alston Civic Association and received their support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Calling Retail Beverages Partners South Bay Inc., doing business as Liquor Aisle, located at 1100 Massachusetts Avenue. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and location from the above to GBLL Holdings MA LLC, doing business as GoPuff, located at 371 Dorchester Avenue. The premise consists of a 7,704 square foot retail package store on the first floor with storage, office, and restroom. Ryan J. Grady, manager, 11 p.m. closing hour. Attorney Joseph Devlin. Attorney Devlin?
Good afternoon, everyone. Andrew Upton, standing in for Attorney Devlin.
Thank you, Attorney Upton.
I'm here representing the applicant, and with me is Cameron Kilberg of GoPuff, along with Ryan Grady, the proposed manager of record. For the record, Ryan is a U.S. citizen, a Mass resident. He has experience in the food and beverage industry, and he is familiar with the rules and regulations of the board. GoPuff is a convenience delivery concept that delivers consumer goods from a micro distribution center in 30 minutes or less for only $1.95 as a fee. Today, we're applying to transfer a package store license from Retail Beverage Partners in South Bay, which is inside the Stop and Shop there, to GoPuff. Before we talk about the character and fitness of the applicant and the public need for a license at this location, I'd like to point out just two things. One is that we propose buying the license from Stop and Shop in South Bay. We've heard from stakeholders in the neighborhood that the number of package stores in this area is a concern. So we've made an effort to not increase the amount of package stores in the area. This proposal will actually reduce them. We are eliminating a large-scale walk-in store and the corresponding negative impacts associated with it. We will not sell nips, kegs, or singles. And because of our configuration, we will not really be appealing to walk-in customers. This is a delivery concept. We are mandated to have walk-in service, but it's not part of our business model, and we will downplay it to the extent possible and allowable under law. So we are eliminating what I would consider an impactful liquor license, a liquor license that has caused concern in the South Bay Plaza and the neighborhood. And we're replacing it with a low impact use where people really won't come into the store. It will just facilitate the delivery that goes with the food and the products under this business model. For the record, I and 3 members of the GoPuff team attended the board's emergency meeting last week about concerns in South Boston. We're obviously not a licensee yet, but we wanted to hear the board's concerns, the community's concerns. We listened and we learned, and we believe that this approach to getting a license, minimizing the use of the license, is a way that GoPuff can be part of the solution. The second issue is that this exact location was licensed before. In 2015, this board approved a company called Drink In as an internet-based delivery licensee. They operated for about a year and they folded due to a lack of investors. But while they operated, they had no violations, no complaints, and minimal, if any, impact on the neighborhood. They had the mandated walk-in storefront as required, and I'm honestly not sure if anyone ever went into it. So the board has previously found that there was a public need for a license at this location, and it was an operational success at this location. The reputation and the character and fitness of the applicant is strong. GoPuff already holds 2 package store licenses in Mass. They have a strong record of compliance. They have a comprehensive ID checking procedure, and they've not had any incidents. The manager, as I've said, is experienced in running the operation, and he's tips trained. The public need, we believe, is also clear. GoPuff has a successful model in Massachusetts and in several other states where they hold 27 different liquor licenses. When alcohol is offered at a GoPuff, demand is always strong, and customers are constantly asking when this location and other non-licensed locations are going to be able to deliver. This is not an area congested with liquor stores, and as I mentioned, we are removing a traditional package store license from the neighborhood. This operation should not increase traffic or noise, and the size of the walk-in retail store. The premises will be the entire warehouse of food, but the actual retail area is about 100 square feet. We won't have any signage including alcohol. The lights will be dim. You can only pay, you cannot pay with cash. So we really feel it will be a minimal liquor store presence. The facility is up and operating for delivering consumer goods. It's been there since May of 2019. The addition of alcohol, we hope, will increase the average order value by 10 to 20%. Our research shows that someone ordering a pint of Ben & Jerry's and 3 bags of chips may now order a bottle of wine or a 6-pack of beer to go with it. Their bill will go up. Hopefully, GoPuff's profits will go up, but the increase in the number of new car deliveries should not be significant. Now I'd like to introduce Cameron Kilberg of GoPuff to give you some detail, a little more on a concept, and also on the community outreach, which she has participated in over the last month or two.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for here with the committee for having me here today. Just a little bit more about GoPuff. We're the instant needs leader in the US, delivering thousands of everyday essentials to customers in about 30 minutes time frame. Our products, which total about 3,000 per micro fulfillment center, include cleaning and home products, bath and beauty, over-the-counter medications, baby and pet products, food and drinks, and obviously in this case, we're applying to include alcohol in that product line. GoPuff has over 400 micro fulfillment centers in the US with 6 locations in Massachusetts to date, with more pending. We actually hold over 300 retail liquor licenses in throughout the US, with 2 in Massachusetts to date. We've invested in so many licenses as customer research shows alcohol is key to driving customers into profitability. With this investment, we have also simultaneously invested in technology and education to ensure appropriate alcohol sales. Our driver partners who deliver alcohol all have must complete RServe, which is an alcohol server education program. Our GM, who is here today, is also tip certified, as are about 3 of our other managing staff at this location. We have implemented both a robust age verification ID scanning technology to help prevent age-restricted products from being delivered to minors, and a technology platform that has the ability to restrict delivery zones. As Andrew mentioned, we attended the South Boston Liquor meeting the other week, and we very much understand the concerns. We have the technology to ensure that problematic locations in question are not within our delivery zone. We can cut those locations out. It should also be noted that we use our own driver partners versus a third party, and this allows us to have better control over our deliveries and the technology we implement. We have been open at this specific location on Dorchester Avenue since May of 2019. We employ about 15 employees in addition to our driver partners. Over the past couple of weeks since we started this process, we have engaged Councillor Flaherty's and Councillor Flynn's offices and have been engaged with the Andrew Squares Community Neighborhood Association and our neighboring businesses to address any concerns about our operations. We understand that a license is very much a privilege and not a right, and can be taken away, and we take this license opportunity very seriously. This is a major investment for the company, and we intend to protect it. I'm open for any questions or any other concerns that there may be. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Mr. Grady here? I could do the rest of the manager record questions.
There he is.
Hi, Mr. Grady, how are you? I think you're on mute. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Are you a citizen?
I am, yes.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
I am, yes.
And your attorney said that you do have experience in the food and beverage industry?
I do, yes, in Portland, Maine.
Okay. Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of our board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
I am, yes.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple questions either for Attorney Upton or Ms. Kilberg. You may have answered them, but I just want to get some more clarity on the delivery area. What is the delivery area proposed for this liquor license?
I don't know the exact, I can answer that. I don't know the exact street lines of it. I would ask our ops team, but we only go about a 3-4 mile radius around each micro fulfillment center in the Boston area.
Okay. And you are willing to not deliver and to cut that out of your delivery area, the beaches that are under the control of DCR that have been an issue in the recent weeks and months? Okay.
Yes.
Madam Chair, if I may, not only are we willing to do that, we believe we are the only delivery company and probably the only package store licensee that has a significantly robust almost a geofencing software program that we can plug those areas in to delete them. So we can prevent that order really from being fulfilled. It's even before it gets to the driver.
Okay,
We
that's
have the
interesting.
technology to do that, and we're certainly willing to work with the board, the police, the community, the elected officials to do so.
Okay, that's very interesting because it is a very big concern and it's continuing to take up a lot of time. So describe for me the checking ID process. Is that done online by someone or is it done again in person when you deliver it?
It's upon delivery. So we do contactless delivery if it's not an age restricted item. We do leave products behind, but if it's age restricted item, which would be alcohol, you must be there to collect your order if there's alcohol included, obviously. So when they online, they must confirm they're 21 when they're checking out. And then upon arrival, they can't be intoxicated. We scan the ID, and the ID has to obviously be a real ID, get scanned through, and then we can leave the package. But the training goes through also, in addition to scanning the ID and confirming that through, making sure the person's not intoxicated, that they're obviously an adult, how to scan the ID, things like that.
And is it is a true statement that you would only be delivering to buildings and places of residence and not to like public areas?
So we don't usually deliver to like a corner. You have to put an address in, and we can't deliver to other businesses. That's illegal. So it has to be a consumer home of some sort, or it could be an office. Like if you're sitting in your office, we could deliver to you there, but it has to be a physical address, and it can't be another retail or type of business.
Okay. Thank you for answering those questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran?
Yeah, just a couple of questions. So one, what is your security like at the warehouse? Will you have a security guard there? How is it going to be guarded?
So we don't right now have a security guard there, but all our security, we have cameras by all the entrances. We have the ability, obviously we can't, when we're closed or not forced to allow someone to walk in under the alcohol, we have lock systems that lock behind when someone exits. So our drivers, if they were come use the restroom, have to get buzzed in if the door is shut. And we have had security guards at some locations, but we do not currently at this location. But we do have cameras up and security so people can't just easily walk in. Though here we'd have to have the door open during those hours.
And just a comment, there are plenty of restaurants who come in because they have accidentally served a minor. And so some of these IDs are really good. And so even if it's quote unquote scans, I just encourage you guys to ask a few questions to make sure that they know all the information on their ID. And if there's any question at all, if they just look really young, just not even go forward with serving. So we've had a lot of issues with people who really look young and they still get served.
Yeah, I think, and Ryan could probably attest to this, having gone through the tips training and then our drivers with the R-Serve training, they do ask you to go through and look at the ID and what would, part of that looking at is like, what does a real ID look like is for your state? Or, obviously we accept passports and things like that, any traditional ID. So they do go through some of that training to see what one's supposed to look like.
All right, Commissioner Curran, do you have any questions? Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Lisa High with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, speaking on behalf of my colleague, Haley Dillon. They have met with the Andrew Square Civic Association and received a non-opposition from them. The applicant has also agreed to continue working with their neighbors and the Civic Association. At this time, our office would like to go on record to support. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councilor Flink's office. At this time, the councilor would like to go on record in opposition. We acknowledge a lot of work has been done by the team with the Andrew Square Civic Association, neighbors, and business. However, there is currently more work to be done with the residents on quality of life and pedestrian safety issues to gain their support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Alicia Payne here on behalf of Councillor Flaherty. Would like to go on also in record in opposition and echo the comments of the district council's office. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Karen Foley, Councilor Sabi George's office. Would like to go on record supporting Councilors Flynn and Flaherty and oppose this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Thank you very much. The board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Item 12 has been rescheduled for June 30th. Calling La Posta Pizza LLC, doing business as Da La Posta, located at 12 Farnsworth Street. Holder of a common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and location from the above to Haymarket Parcel 9 Investor LLC, doing business as Canopy by Hilton Boston Downtown, located at 99 Blackstone Street. In whole of said building, 6th-floor hotel, 145,000 square feet, including 212 guest rooms, reception area, lobby, offices, and meeting room on ground floor, but specifically excluding 10,000 square feet of retail space, 1,600 square feet of Haymarket Pushcar Association space, and 1,700 square feet of shared trash space, all on the ground floor as shown on plan. Hotel, cafe, lounge with bar area on second floor, approximately 4,000 square feet, with seating for 137. Year-round outdoor rooftop terrace on second floor with seating for 75. Daily hours of operation, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. Richard A. Galvin, manager. Lastly, is petition to change the license type from common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license to in-holder all alcoholic beverages license. Attorney John Aida. Attorney Aida.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Executive Secretary. Madam Chair, members of the board, John Aida, McDermott, Quilty and Miller, 28 State Street, on behalf of the applicant, Haymarket Parcel 9 Investor LLC. With me today is Richard Galvin. He is the proposed manager of record. By way of experience, Richard has over 30 years in the commercial real estate development as a commercial real estate developer, as well as experience in the food and beverage industry. He's been involved in the development and operation of a loft and element hotels, most recently in the Seaport District. Richard is a United States citizen, a Massachusetts resident, and he is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as it pertains to the sale and service of alcohol. This project has been going on. This is 99 Blackstone Street. The new hotel is known as Canopy by Hilton, Boston Downtown. It's been in development since approximately 2013. Canopy is a 6-story hotel. There will be 212 guest rooms. Alcohol service on the ground floor will consist of the lobby and a meeting room. And on the second floor, it's the hotel, cafe, and lounge, as well as a year-round rooftop terrace. There is also plans for room service, which the rooms encompass floors 2 through 6. Briefly, again, by way of background, as I stated, this project started in 2013. Mass DOT, which is the site owner, put this out to bid for proposal for development of this site. And they conducted a thorough review process at that time, which included public meetings and community input. The applicant was selected by Mass DOT as being the best proposal to meet the needs of the public, and was awarded the development. At that time, the applicant also went through Article 80 large project review, and with additional community outreach, as well as meetings from the public. This is obviously this is the hotel is currently under construction with a fall opening planned. The spot was considered to be ideal for tourists and business travelers, and the need for a full hotel with alcohol service was very much met with support by the community as well as the city. The intention with Mr. Galvin, he is the proposed manager. He will be, underway as the transition comes in through the fall. But the thoughts are, once a general manager has been hired, we will be back in front of the board for that appointment as a new manager of record. But for now, Richard does have the experience in the food and beverage industry and will be involved until that time as a new general manager has been appointed. As Richard will attest to, there was extensive community outreach for the last several years with meetings through BPDA, IAG, North End Waterfront Neighborhood Council, as well as the Residents Association. We've worked closely with Haymarket Pushcart Association, which was very much involved and does have space dedicated to it on the ground level to allow them to continue their market. Also met with Boston Public Market, Landmarks Commission, and Mass Housing Investment Corporation. Lastly, I'd just like to say, they are, that the hotel is part of the new Greenway Business Impact Group, as well as a contributing member of the North End Beautification Committee. They've really reached out and tried to accommodate all the public input and comments. They've worked closely, as I stated, with the Haymarket Pushcart Association to make that doable, and they did garner the support of Mass DOT as being the best use of this parcel as having this full service hotel. So we obviously ask for your support, and if Richard has anything further to state, or if you had any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer those.
Thank you, John, and thank you for allowing us to come before you today for this important discussion. This is about $130 million investment in a project that's been long both under review and development, as I said, since 2013. It's on a historic street, Blackstone Street. It's an important frontage of the Greenway. It's a really, we think, important site, an iconic site even. And I don't want to underestimate the relationship with the pushcart vendors in terms of working closely with them to maintain this cherished Boston tradition, really almost in conjunction, side by side with the hotel. So we see this as a unique opportunity to have this wonderful, decades old tradition in Boston side by side with a brand new hotel. So we're thrilled to be here, thrilled that our long journey is coming to an end to open this hotel. And this is one of the last and very important steps on that journey. So thank you.
Thank you. Your attorney hit all the manager of record questions, and I think also described the public need. I don't have any questions as to either of those two things, Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran.
Seeing no questions, are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Members of the board, this is John Romano from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We've received support letters from the Haymarket Pushcart Association as well as others in the community, and at this time we'd like to go on record in support of the project.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials who wish to testify regarding this matter? Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling TNT Cuisine Inc., doing business as Saigon Seafood Restaurant, located at 268 to 270 Adams Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wine and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and location from the above to Menya Giro Seaport Inc., doing business as Menya Giro, located at 50 Northern Avenue. Premises at 50 Northern Avenue, Fan Pier Parcel A, consisting of 2,279 square foot portion of the parcel, which has 1 floor, 2 entrances, and exits with approved occupancy of 85. Linda Tai Tong, manager, 10 p.m. closing hour. Attorney Andrew Upton. Attorney Upton.
Good afternoon, everyone. Andrew Upton for the applicant. Menya Giro is a casual sit-down handcrafted ramen concept who has a lease at 50 Northern Avenue in the Seaport. It's a former Be Good restaurant, and the landlord has indicated to us that there is a public need for a quality ramen place with waitress service and beer and wine. They are a handcrafted ramen place. As I've said, they have been approved already for a liquor license in Harvard Square, and there is also one pending in Legacy Place in Dedham. We spoke to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, who did not require an abutter meeting since we have an early hour, closing hour of 10 p.m. We did meet with the Fort Point Neighborhood Association, who has submitted a letter of support. We have Linda Tong here, who's the proposed manager of record. I believe she has been approved by the ABCC before, so she is a resident citizen, obviously has experience and is familiar with the rules and regulations. We believe there's a public need for a liquor license at this location. Beer and wine pair very well with traditional ramen. They would have a limited menu of Japanese beers and sake. There's no plans for an elaborate drinking program or any mass market beers. It would just be strictly targeted as an amenity to the specific foods. And with that, we're glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Lisa High with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, speaking on behalf of my colleague, Haley Dillon. They have met with the Fort Point Neighborhood Association, as mentioned, and we have not received any opposition from the community. So at this time, the Mayor's Office would like to go on record to support.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support. We heard no issues or concerns from the Fort Point Neighborhood Association. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling Social 132 LLC, doing business as Sports Grill Boston, located at 132 to 134 Canal Street. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to TNT Cuisine, doing business as Saigon Seafood Restaurant, located at 270 Adams Street. The premise consists of one-story building, approximately 2,400 square feet. There is one floor of dining, a closed kitchen, storage room, and 2 entrances and 2 exits. Approved occupancy of 70. Truck Tow Than Hun, manager, 12 a.m. closing hour. Attorney Andrew Upton. Attorney Upton.
Good afternoon again, everyone. Andrew Upton for the applicant. In the previous application, we applied to transfer out the beer and wine license that was at Saigon Seafood. Now that that's gone, we are now applying to transfer in an all alcohol license that we are purchasing from Social 132 LLC. So just to be clear on that. Saigon Seafood has been operating with beer and wine for 6 years. They're a key cultural component of the community known as Little Saigon. They've had no problems with their beer and wine license. What they are looking to do is upgrade their service capacity for functions. They host quite a few charity events, civic events, weddings, all that type of thing. And there seemed to be a great demand for cocktails and mixed drinks. They'd like to also expand into more traditional Asian drinks, like the Scorpion Bowl or the Mai Tai or that type of thing. They have survived COVID and the pandemic, but they need a boost because it's a big restaurant and it's a big part of the community. And to get all alcohol and to serve those drinks and to be able to facilitate those functions is an important need for them. That being said, we had an abutters meeting ably hosted by George Wynn, where there was no opposition at all. We then had a subsequent meeting with the Fields Corner Civic Association, where we received unanimous support for this proposal. We don't believe there'll be any negative impact from this. The place has been operating. They've got good parking. There's no plans to add a bar or really change the operation in any way. But economically, the owners feel that this is a worthwhile investment to try to keep the business going and to pep it up going forward. Truk has been the manager under the beer and wine. So I believe she meets all the qualifications, but she and I are glad to answer any further questions about the concept or the operation.
I don't have any questions as long as we've confirmed that she's an approved manager of record. I don't see her on here, but it could be, oh, I see her. Yep, sorry. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is George Huynh with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office held in the Butters meeting for the proponent on May 26, 2021. We also received a letter of support from Field Corner Civic Association, and there were no concerns presented by the community. So at this time, our office would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take it under advisement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Following BPM Events LLC, doing business as Boston Public Market, located at 100 Hanover Street, has applied for common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license to be exercised in one large room on ground floor of 100 Hanover Street, approximately 28,000 square feet, with seating areas, prep areas, kitchen, restrooms, and storage and office space on ground floor. Regular seating capacity is 75 with option of additional seating during special events. Manager Cheryl Cronin, closing hour 11 p.m. Attorney Dennis Quilty. And I will note that this excludes the existing approved approximately 300 square foot retail package store that is in existence at this location. Attorney Quilty.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Executive Secretary, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to present to you this afternoon. With me is Cheryl Cronin, who is the president and CEO of the Boston Public Market. Interestingly, we are about to approach our 6th anniversary at this site. Having opened in July of 2015, Cheryl has been in charge of running the establishment that entire time. As you certainly are aware, given its proximity to City Hall and surroundings, this is a major public undertaking in the city and has been so for these past 6 years. Cheryl has indicated to me that she wishes today that they had simply applied for this or had the legislation approve a license at the time they went in 6 years ago, and have kind of made their way through these years without a license, but certainly feel that it's entirely in the public good, if you will, to have a license at this establishment. And perhaps no better argument for that than the very name itself as the public market. This is the city's main attraction for local food and other cheeses, breads, wine, etc. And certainly could benefit greatly from the addition of an alcoholic beverages license. They've had many requests for such. They do have to go from time to time to do events, have had to apply for 1-days, becomes quite burdensome, but more importantly, the patrons have consistently asked why, whereas other places around the country, we think, as Cheryl would indicate, that this may be the only such market of which there are in every major city that is not licensed by the local authorities to serve alcoholic beverages. So we think with its limited closing hour, its focus on food, its focus on shopping, this will be nothing but a benefit to the community. In that context, we have made outreach to Mr. Romano at Neighborhood Services. We have met with the Neighborhood Council and received unanimous support from them. We've had, Cheryl has had lengthy conversations with the mayor's office and with Councilor Flynn, who we understand will be supporting our application today. And we have been asked to make a presentation, but not get a vote at the NURA meeting, which will follow this, but they were aware that this meeting was happening before their meeting could occur. And again, they were not voting, they just wanted us to make a presentation. So we think we've reached out to all of the interested parties in the area. And we feel, again, as though this will be nothing but a positive undertaking for the market, for the city, and for the neighborhood. Cheryl has run the facility for 6 years. She is the proposed manager of record. She is a U.S. citizen, a Mass resident. and is familiar with the rules and regs of the board and the ABC with regard to sale and service of alcohol. She is likely to tap an employee to be a future manager of record, but we are presenting her today as the overall operator in this capacity. And of course, we'll provide any further information to the board if a change is made in this position. And we're certainly happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Quilty, would you say that this would be the only public market concept like this?
We think it's,
area?
Cheryl can weigh in, but we think it's certainly one of the few that doesn't already have a full alcoholic beverages license for these facilities. I mean, they're in, some of them well predate Boston, but Philadelphia, Cleveland, Chicago, New York, the major cities around the country have this concept. And it's, Cheryl, we believe we may be the only one that doesn't have a license.
Yeah, I'll just add, thank you, Madam Chairwoman, that it's the only one I'm aware of our sort of size and capacity and scope, because in a way, the alcohol piece goes along with the local food piece, especially given, frankly, the emphasis in New England on local craft beers and the importance of us showcasing that as well. You know, so from what I'm aware of, we are probably of our size, the only one in the country that doesn't have an all alcohol license. And as Dennis said, it's probably something that everyone should have considered in the early days, and made sense to have sort of at the beginning and the outset of the market as it was being created. But in the midst of everything else, we didn't. And then, you know, it's been, obviously we've been in startup modes, but we think it's vital right now, frankly, especially coming out of the pandemic and the year, and that this is key. This is really key to the place we have in the city.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Saxon and Commissioner Curran.
Just to clarify, this is for retail, right? Not
Yes.
to,
Sorry, this is a pouring permit.
Pouring license, not a retail. It's a pouring license.
Yes. All right, are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application?
The board, this is John Romano from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. As was mentioned before, this project has received support from the North End Waterfront Neighborhood Council, and at such time, we'd like to go on record in support of the project.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councilor Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling Jimerson Enterprises LLC, doing business as Larry J's BBQ Cafe, located at 600 D Street, has applied for common vitular 7-day malt and wine license to be exercised on the above 500 square feet of space consisting of a full functioning kitchen and storage area. There is no indoor bar, dining area, or seating inside. This is a full service takeout establishment. The outdoor patio space is publicly owned by the Massachusetts Port Authority and consists of 1,000 square feet, total seating capacity of 80 patrons. 150 square feet of this area will be designated for the use of this applicant for approximately 30. This will be a seasonal operation, April through November, from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. midnight. Manager Larry Jimerson, closing hour 12 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant? Nope, you're muted.
I should be used to that by now. Larry Jimerson.
All right, well, you want to go ahead and tell us what you're proposing?
Okay, so just a beer and wine license for our takeout place here in the Seaport. We've been in business down in the Seaport before the Seaport became the Seaport. 2012, I think we started. 90% of what's here was not here. Everyone around us has a liquor license, full liquor license. We're just looking for beer and wine to help our business grow. That's it. Simple.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was just pulling up. So Mr. Jimerson, you'd be the manager of record?
I'm the owner of Larry J's Barbecue Cafe, yes.
Okay, so are you a citizen
Of what?
of the United States of America?
Yeah, I was born here, dear.
Okay. Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes, I live in Lynn.
Okay. These are our standard questions for anyone who's going to be the manager of record. And you have had experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yes, this will be my third liquor license. We've had 2 full liquor licenses, one in Chelsea, one in Revere, which we just recently relinquished the place in Revere because of COVID, etc. So we have no attachment to that anymore, and just the one in the Seaport. But we've had about 5-6 years with no citations, violations whatsoever.
Great, okay. And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Absolutely.
Okay. Those are our 4 standard questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
Seeing no questions, are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Lisa High with the Mayor's Office and Neighborhood Services, speaking up on behalf of my colleague Haley Dillon. Mr. Jimerson has reached out to the Civic Association and there has been no concerns. Therefore, the Mayor's Office would like to go on record to.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Alicia Payne here on behalf of Councillor Flaherty, wishing to go on record in support as well. Thank you.
Sorry, Alicia, I didn't see you there. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Those are all the items before the board today. Thank you all and have a good day.
Okay, thanks. Bye.